You know, I almost feel sorry for you Americans. I thought we had it bad in Canada with Prime Minister Mr. Dressup, but holy crap. Let's see. People are it's kind of like buyer's remorse for the Democrat voters. Let's see, Biden, he killed the Keystone Pipeline, took a can opener to the border, and other things that aren't good for the economy, and now the big debacle in Afghanistan. Okay, well, I got this feeling that he's going to have no choice but to step down. I can almost see this coming. If you recall, he said, "Oh, this won't be like Saigon 1975." Yeah. As soon as I heard about how the Taliban is gaining more and more real estate, and Kabul, they're getting closer and closer to Kabul, my first thought was, yeah, it's going to be just like Saigon. So did a lot of other people. Yeah. Well, I saw it coming. Hell yeah. People dangling from the outside of airplanes, falling to their death. Yeah, as far as I remember, that same thing happened in Saigon. So what were we doing there in the first place? American and coalition forces. Well, it all started with September 11th, and they figured, well, we got to get rid of the Taliban and Al Qaeda and all them badasses, so they don't have a safe haven. Okay. Then they talk about nation building. Nation building, really? Let's take a look at Afghanistan. Okay, for the past 1,000 years, it's been nothing but warlords and tribalism. It is deeply rooted in tribalism. Okay, Pashtun, Tajiks, Uzbeks, you name it. There's got to be a dozen different ethnicities, all deeply rooted in tribalism. That's the one thing people don't realize. So how can you build a nation? They're just kind of not into that. What they did was they focused a lot on building a military. Building a military, but not really be concerned with politics. So what was the politics like in Afghanistan? Well, you see, here's the problem. Over the past 20 years, there's been a lot of corruption as well as that tribalism going on. Yeah. So, you look at the ANA, or the Afghan army. Are they going to get their supplies when they need them? If the Americans aren't there to help them, are they going to get their supplies? Are they going to get their fuel? Are they going to get paid? Okay? So they're not too crazy about how things are going, especially when there's widespread government corruption going on. Yeah, they're not too crazy about that. It's bad for morale. And the fact that they did most of the fighting, okay? It wasn't us that did all the fighting, it was mostly them. 50,000, make that 60,000, okay? Military and police forces that got killed. Yeah, 60,000 military as well as Afghan police that got killed. So yeah, they did all the dying, not us. Okay, so the morale amongst the Afghan forces started dwindling. But here's the catch-22 that people just don't understand. You see, according to Pew Research, 99% of Afghan civilians or citizens want the Islamic theology and Sharia law, okay? But at the same time, they're not too crazy about the Taliban because they're pretty hardcore Sharia. They're pretty bent out of shape when it comes to Sharia, okay? But there's a catch-22. You see, a lot of the Afghans don't really want the Americans there, okay? But they don't want the Taliban there. But now that the Taliban has taken over, a lot of them are welcoming the Taliban. I know it sounds kind of weird because you see people at the airport running for their lives because here comes the Taliban. Well, yeah. When it comes down to it, most of them prefer the Taliban. It's kind of weird, I know, but it's just the way it goes. But here's the other thing. How successful will the Taliban be in forming a government and running the country? Is there going to be another civil war? Is there going to be more corruption? Is there going to be more infighting? There's going to be some people that don't want them there. They're going to put up a fight. But there might be infighting amongst each other. So things might go downhill in a couple of years. And there's so many things I'm seeing that come to light that they're talking about that I already thought about, such as the fact that there's still Americans still stuck in Afghanistan, and there's a good chance that in the next while they're going to take hostages. You're going to be like Iran. I need a quieter place. It's going to be like back in Iran, the hostage taking, you know, which could go on for a year and a half. And the Taliban will probably make demands like release, you know, a prisoner exchange. We just might see that. Oh yeah, and guess who's going to see a new market? China. Yeah, let's see, copper, gold, uranium, lithium. Yeah, that's right. China's going to say, well, we see a new market there. But here's the thing about China. They don't come in guns blazing and say, this territory is ours. No, no, no. You know what happens right under your nose? Yeah. They make trade deals and they do the debt trap. Okay? Pakistan's indebted to them. So if they don't build road and rail going into Pakistan in the next 2 minutes, well, there's a good chance that they'll just take a route through Pakistan to Islamabad and over to Kabul. And eventually they'll just build road and rail. And they'll be the ones scooping up all the mineral resources. But here's the one thing that might concern a lot of other countries, okay? Because it's something I'm predicting. And we hope it doesn't happen, but you see, I haven't seen much or heard much of any terrorist attacks happening, especially in Europe. Europe, UK, it seems like a lot of them were happening. I haven't seen that in a while, but I got this feeling that we might see more. The reason I say that is because, okay, you get these terrorist cells. You know those hardcore Islamic fanatics that go live in Western civilizations and hate the people they live with, and yeah, and some of them would have no problem joining a terrorist organization or a sleeper cell or anything like that. Okay, I'm talking to ones that would have no problem shoving a jar of nitroglycerin up their butt, duct taping themselves to an epileptic, walk into a supermarket, flick on a strobe light, and smear innocent people all over the place. Okay? So yeah. The point I'm making is that it's kind of a prediction. Hope it doesn't come true. But here's the thing. What the Taliban have done might embolden these people in other countries. They'll say, booyah, good for the Taliban, and it might encourage them, embolden them to carry out terrorist attacks. This is what I'm thinking might happen. Could be in the next year, could be in the next 2 months. That's the only thing that concerns me. Probably know it could happen here in Canada. Yeah, there's a good chance that what the Taliban have done might encourage terrorist attacks in other countries. Well, let's hope it doesn't happen.